Stop. Do not hit buy now on any streaming device until you hear this. If you're about to pick up an Apple TV, Fire Stick, or Roku, you might be moments away from making one of the biggest tech mistakes of the decade. I'm not exaggerating. Why? Because huge new leaks about the upcoming 2026 Apple TV just dropped. And this thing isn't just an upgrade, it's a complete reset of what a streaming box is supposed to be. Apple isn't planning a small refresh. They're gearing up to wipe out every other streaming device on the shelf and quietly take over your entire living room for the next 5 to 10 years. This is not a minor spec bump. This is a big strategic shift that could make every streaming stick, every cheap box, and even the current Apple TV 4K feel instantly outdated. If you want to know why the 2026 Apple TV might become the single most important device in your house, stay locked in. Let's start with where we are right now. Today's streaming devices all have the same issues. Sluggish interfaces, laggy apps, random crashes, annoying buffering, and hardware that feels outdated after just a couple of years. You buy a Fire Stick or Roku to set it and forget it. And 2 years later, it's crawling, your apps are breaking, and you're already thinking about the next upgrade. Apple sees that weakness, and they're about to exploit it. From the outside, the new 2026 Apple TV will probably look very familiar. Apple is expected to stick with that stealthy, minimal black box design. It's compact, clean, and disappears right into your entertainment unit. No weird antennas, no flashy logos, no clutter. But don't be fooled by that simple shell. The biggest changes are where you can't see them. Inside, Apple is reportedly tearing everything apart and rebuilding the Apple TV from the ground up with absurd levels of power for a streaming box. Right now, the Apple TV 4K runs on the A17 chip. Leaks suggest Apple is ready to skip ahead and go straight to the A17 Pro or even the A8 and inside the 2026 model. These are the same monster chips used in Apple's top-tier iPhones. We're talking console-class graphics performance, insane efficiency, and a neural engine built for real-time AI and machine learning. So why on earth would something you mainly use for Netflix and YouTube need that much horsepower? One word: gaming. And more specifically, hardware ray tracing. Ray tracing is a graphics technology that simulates realistic lighting, reflections, and shadows, the kind of visuals you usually only see on a high-end gaming PC, PlayStation 5, or Xbox Series X, with hardware-level ray tracing built into these chips. Apple is quietly turning the 2026 Apple TV into a stealth gaming console. Apple doesn't want you to think streaming stick. They want you to think living room console that just happens to also be your Netflix machine. Imagine firing up AA titles with realistic lighting, cinematic shadows, and smooth physics directly on your TV. No $500 console, no giant PC tower, no loud fans. Just a tiny black box under your TV. Pair it with a Bluetooth controller, and that's it. Your gaming. This kind of performance turns the next-gen Apple TV into one of the best value gaming devices on the market, especially if you're into Apple Arcade, cloud gaming services, or you just want real console-level graphics without paying console-level prices. But let's be real. Raw power means nothing if your internet connection can't keep up. Everyone hates buffering. Everyone hates lag. Apple knows it. That's why the 2026 Apple TV is rumored to come with a custom wireless chip that supports Wi-Fi 6E and potentially Wi-Fi 7. That unlocks the 6 GHz band of clean, high-speed data highway with way less congestion than the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands your current gadgets are fighting over. What does that mean for you? You'll be able to stream 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, and even future 8,000 content with far fewer drops, stutters, and quality dips. You'll be able to game in the cloud, join online multiplayer sessions, and cast from your phone or Mac without watching that spinning buffering wheel ever again. If you're in a crowded apartment building, if you've got tons of smart devices, if your Wi-Fi is always jammed this next, Gen networking support is a game changer. And for the purists who don't want to rely on wireless at all, good news, the Ethernet port is expected to stay right where it is. Plug it in, and you've got ultra-stable, low-latency, wire performance ready for serious streaming and serious gaming. This box is being engineered to handle the future of the internet without even breaking a sweat. Now let's talk about the part that could completely shock the market. The price. For years, people complain about the Apple tax. You know the story. Pay double, get the logo. But according to top analysts and early leaks, Apple might be about to flip that entire narrative on its head. There's strong talk of a sub-$100 price point. If Apple really ships a 2026 Apple TV with an A17 Pro class chip for just $99, it's not just competitive, it's a kill shot. That kind of pricing would put massive pressure on Roku, Amazon, Google, and basically every other streaming box maker overnight. Why would Apple go that low? Because Apple finally understands where the long-term money really is. Services, Apple. TV, Apple Music, Apple Arcade, iCloud, Fitness Plus, News Plus, Apple One bundles. The more people who own an Apple TV, the more people Apple can plug into those recurring subscriptions. By making the hardware insanely powerful and shockingly affordable, Apple turns the 2026 Apple TV into the ultimate gateway drug into the Apple ecosystem. Think of it like this. Instead of making huge profit on the box itself, Apple makes the box so good and so cheap that you feel stupid not buying it. Then they earn their money back month after month on the content, games, and services you use on that box. Premium performance at a budget-friendly price. That is a deadly combination for every competitor in the space. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The 2026 Apple TV isn't just a streaming box, and it isn't just a gaming console. It's being built to act as the brain of your entire smart home. With full support expected for Thread and Matter, the new Apple TV will function as a universal hub for smart lights, smart locks, smart plugs, cameras, thermostats, and sensors. No matter which brand you buy, Matter is the new industry-wide standard designed to make smart home devices from different brands actually work together. Thread is the low-power mesh networking tech that keeps all those devices online, responsive and reliable. Put those together inside a powerful Apple TV, and suddenly this box becomes the central command center for your home. Turn on every light in the house, lock every door, check your camera feeds, trigger automation when you arrive, leave, go to sleep, or wake up. All that can be processed locally, fast, and securely, right on the 2026 Apple TV. And because the new chip is so ridiculously fast, your smart home commands should be nearly instant. No more waiting for Siri to think about turning on the lights. No awkward delay when you say, lock the front door, and nothing happens for 3 seconds. No lag when you open your camera. Feeds from your couch. You say it. It happens instantly. And it doesn't stop there.